I think this is pretty much, I think we kind of rounded up nicely with everything you want to say. I did wanted to ask you about one thing, since you mentioned you're a live player, but you did send me some anecdotes. Like, I think a couple of days ago, you had a funny situation on the online cash game, right? So if you want, feel free to mention that one too.
Sure. Well, I said that there are certain times when online is a little bit more difficult to use the psychological side, right? But yes, there was one very funny situation because I'm sitting since a while on a cash game table, and there is a new player that just gets in. And when the new player gets in, if he wants or she wants, we don't know who's behind the nickname. They can they don't have to wait the big blind, but they can post the blinds already, and they start playing right away. And so this player he was from Canada, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. He starts to play and he posts the blind, and I am on the button. And just as a matter of stealing, I have 8 deuce off. Awful hand, one of the most awful hands in poker, right? But I just want to steal, and so I bet. I bet. I mean, he only posts it. He checks when it comes to him, and I bet. And everyone folds back to him, and he calls. So, and I think, okay, well, this guy, what is he calling? He only checks before, so he doesn't have such a strong hand. Flop comes 4-4-9 with 2 diamonds. He checks and I bet.
Okay.
And he 3-bets me, but he 3-bets me pretty big.
Okay.
And I start thinking, well, what the hell? I mean, this guy, what 4-4-9 is such a draw, is such a dry board. Yeah. And at the same time, I think, well, if someone just sat at the table, he doesn't want to lose all his stock, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all in. So that's what I do, because I think he's not going to call even if he has a strong hand. I mean, because he needs to think that he doesn't want to lose the stock on the first hand. He starts to tank for such a big, I mean, he starts to tank for 40 seconds, but 40 seconds in online is so long. Yeah. And in the end, he folds. And nice. I have to tell him that I bluffed him, so I showed him 8 deuce, I mean, with the option. Yeah. That's a little bit how you can use psychology online as well.
Yeah, exactly. Super nice. There's one thing I wanted to ask you for the end, as I mentioned, since you're playing like, let's say 2 years, you have some moderate, actually really decent success. Do you treat yourself as a poker professional or not? What's your point of view on that? Maybe for the end.
That's interesting. So right now I play in partnership with betkings. So I might say that I'm a poker professional, but if someone asks me at the table, I think I would say, no, I'm not a poker professional.
Okay.
And I think it's more the truth. I mean, let's say, when I play, I try to play professionally in the sense that, yes, I get fun. I'm glad to play the game. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I try to really maximize profit. I don't just sit at the table, I mean, look at the stars. So in that sense, I try to play as professionally as I can. And in that sense, I also, as I said, I study the game. I've studied books. I discuss hands all the time. I try to revise the situations where I've been in. I keep the statistics, both live and online. So in that sense, I try to be as professional as I can. But at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur myself. I have a company. I have other activities. So I use poker in a way, if you want, as an investment. I decided, I mean, last year that I wanted to try this investment. I saw that this investment was profitable. I think that maybe in the future, especially if I'm able to win some big amount of money, I can invest this money into my company. That's also part of the idea. Maybe it never happens, but in any case, I mean, nothing to lose. And so that's a little bit the idea, and how I see myself. And I think there are many people like this that can
Yeah,
see
exactly.
poker as a semi-professional activity.
And it's nice, like, I mean, obviously to have, like, maybe, as you said, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own company, and I mean, not really keeping it as a hobby, maybe your passion, and still being serious while you play, even though you don't play all the time, right? And I think it's the right attitude for a lot of people nowadays, to kind of try it out, see how it goes, and even later on in the future, you can invest more time in it, more money, right? More knowledge, learn more, and see how it feels.
Yeah, I think it works like almost in every discipline in life. You have to understand if you adapt to that discipline, to that contest or not, and then what are your limits.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, I think in poker. You have to establish your own limits and say, okay, this is my limit, I don't go over that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's when it becomes sick, is only when you go beyond your own limits. But it's up to you to decide where your limits are.
Yeah, exactly. You have to know that about yourself. Just one funny thing you mentioned, like at the table, you don't proclaim yourself as a professional. That's kind of a psychology part again, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I prefer, and especially last year, I could say that no, I only play since a few months, right? And I could say it many times, and this can give an image of very amateur guy on the table.
Yeah. So they
yes, of course,
underestimate.
it can play it, yeah, in my advantage. So, I mean, I've seen many times. I mean, I remember, 3 bets or even 4 bets just to make me fold. But I'm there to understand the situation. I'm not there to, right? So yes, you could use these things to my. I remember one situation I can tell you. I remember. So it was a very important. It was a tournament in May last year. I didn't go that far. I think I was around 20th position at the end. But still made good money. And it was in Rotterdam in King's Casino. So, and in the tournament at a certain point, so there is a guy that goes all in on a blank river.
Okay.
And I start to mention hands. So I start to talk to him a lot to understand. There was no time bank, so I could stay until he's gonna call time, right? Or someone else is gonna call time. And I start to talk to him a lot. And I remember that, so basically the board was 10, 6, 6, deuce 4, okay? And I have ace 10. He has ace king. I will find out only at the end.
Yeah, later.
But basically it goes all in, trying to represent a bigger pair. And I start to talk to him a lot, asking, so since the board is 10, 6, 6, deuce 4, I ask him, do you have a 6? Do you have 5, 3? And in his mind, he starts to tell me that you really think I would do this action with 5, 3? So basically, he thinks that I'm such an amateur that I don't understand that he might have an overpair. But in fact, I use it in the reverse way. The reason I'm telling all these things is because I want to understand if he really has an overpair or not because I think he has right? And in the end, he gives me enough information for me to call, and I call, and he has ace king.
Yeah. So you kind of took that into advantage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so great. I guess we're just gonna conclude it for now. Like, it's been a long interview. It's been such a pleasure talking to you. You seem like a really cool guy, and I love like how you're kind of blending everything that you learned in life, everything that you did into poker, and how you're actually finding a lot of success with it. And
well, thank you very much. Thank you very much to PP Poker. I think, I was really glad. It was a nice time, always nice time to talk about past moments. We didn't talk about mistakes. I have to say, I don't want people to think that I've done everything right. No, absolutely. This is not the case. I made many mistakes, but the most important thing is to learn from your mistakes at the end.
Yeah.
That's how you can improve.
I agree. And that's like a nice, like, closing line, I believe. And again, everybody check out the GG WSOP circuit, play if you want. There's a lot of action. There are fun games. And to you, Francesco, I just wish you the best of luck. Have fun with Maria on Twitch channel. Marina, sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, no problem.
I wish you all the best. I'll check it out. Shout out the channel again, just so everybody hears.
Yeah. Marina Poker Star, double R at the end on Twitch, or Marina Poker Star 1R on Instagram. We post everything there as well.
Exactly.
And also remember betkings_world if you want to follow YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch.
Okay, have fun, everybody. Bye-bye.
Ciao, thank you so much. Bye.